What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 27 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Thorgrim Grudgebearer Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, the new beards in the Karak, our new armies, have begun had their debut battle, and while they're not quite complete, they're nearly ready to split up and do their own thing. We're still sort of in the most dangerous part of the map for us right now, surrounded by potentially the Ironclaw orcs and the various Skaven here, and I think down here, the Vampire Coast, the regular vampires that we've been fighting, and of course all this way, the massive empire, rather, not army, but probably army as well, belonging to the clan Scryer Skaven. So that's the main thing that we're going to be dealing with by and large. Alright, now, as I think we went about halfway through the turn last episode, and these guys here still all have to move unless I'm mistaken. So that's what we're going to be up to. Obviously the Guardians don't need to move, just going to double check everybody else. Hurgar Ironwill is, alright, the Explosion Army. Still waiting on some Outriders with explosives, but otherwise we're looking okay. Frankly, this is probably way too many Ironbreakers, but, well, I might take some out. Mount Greyhag has barely any defenses, and we could probably just declare war and kill these guys off fairly easily. They do have 6 territories, meaning, yeah, they got some territory up here, or down here, rather, don't they? Well, either way, I'm just going to assume that they won't show up and attack these undefended territories. These places can be a lot more fortified, though I admit we didn't really fortify the sort of starting points of this particular territory. It's still generating 11,000 gold. The Dwarven economy is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at this. Alright, well, either way, we're going to do this. Hopefully we can find an actual army belonging to them so that we can actually get a fight for this particular army rather than just the garrison. Though I suppose we could try to wait here and see if they can sally out. Maybe fight it in the field. We obviously are still missing another engineer and... or actually, wait. What are we missing? I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, probably the engineers still have a decent amount of range damage, and we do need additional ammunition. Though another thing, let me just see here, with another Ironbeard would give us more ammunition for the Iron Breakers, which might actually be more worth our time than getting another engineer. I'll think about it. The engineer will give us additional ammunition as well, but only about 20% rather than 50%. But it'll also significantly increase the missile damage of those guys. I mean, I think they're both pretty good options. Oh, but the engineers will also give us another break open the casks so we could refill the ammunition on the Iron Breakers directly, which might be a decent option. Anyway, that's all ahead of us, I think. Hurgar Ironwill, you're going to be reset. You're a rearguard lord, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just get you War of Endurance, and you may or may not actually fight this. We shall see. Get you Inspiring Presence as well. A little bit of bonus XP for all these guys. And let's just make sure that you, Runesmith, probably want sharpened weapons for the explosives army. More damage, right? Missile and melee damage. It doesn't specify explosive damage, but I'm going to assume that it increases it. So let's do sharpened weapons for you. And we'll do Rune of Wrath and Ruin, Rune of Oath and Steel, the Forge Fire into Rune of Hearth and Home, and Wallbreaker. Wardbreaker, rather. And then the engineer. Obviously, as always, triangulation into requisitions of our 42-pounders, Deadeye, ballistics calibration, and... oh, you have one more point than other engineers do. Good for you. One more point in Zipbar 42-pounders then. Alrighty, and then the Thane, frankly, doesn't really matter, but why not get a little bit of extra XP? You're Tromac Thane, and if we get attacked, we may as well take advantage of the Esteemed Combatant. Retinue Trainer, 1 point in Hero, get... well, probably want to move to Revered Thane. So Fell-Handed Warrior into Inherited Arms, 1 point in Unfaltering, 1 point in Revered Thane for the Glittering Scales, and then lastly we are the Elite. Alright, good enough. You're in position now. Let's see if they sally out and try their hands at dealing with our Explosion Army. Now, anybody else needs to move other than the guys that are currently facing off against Mr. Kemmler. Alaric Ranulfson is fine where he... oh, actually, he's not fine where he is anymore. I originally built him to go after the orcs, but he took so long to get on field that they're not around anymore, which is kind of funny. I guess there's a few extra territories here that we might still want to clean up, so start moving this way. May as well. Alright, and I'm glad I checked because I would have completely forgotten about you otherwise, so go this way. Alright, that was Alaric Ranulfson, and yeah, his army's fine. I'm sure he'll be able to deal with the auto-resolves or any minor armies he comes across. Looks like Ungrim still needs to move, and he's going north to join King Azrael. March stance this way. Belgar still needs to move as well, and is still a little bit damaged. I guess we can move down to the Howlers camp. I mean, I suppose we need to hit both potentially the elves and potentially Wurzag and potentially Khorne here as well, so to do so at once we'll probably need a few armies. So go down here, Belgar. Right, also between the episodes you may see that we are 600,000 gold poorer. I did the building in combination with giving about 500,000 gold to our allies again. Both of these Imperial factions to Khurun, to both Kislevite factions and to the western provinces. The more that they can do themselves without us having to deal with everything for them, the better. I mean, granted, it will deprive us of some battles if they do too well, but I never expect the AI to do too well, so probably won't matter much either. Anyway, that's Belagar, Stochel, Gundrickson, and Krasar and Grimbar are still in this place. We'll move them all at once. Morgus Death Dealer is waiting for recruitment, and is probably going to become a Morn Guard, as in guard the mountains of Morn. Callan Heldower is together with Mr. Bugman and his caravan, mostly just moving north, but also kind of just holding on to units. And lastly, Malachi is besieging Kruglug here, so this time, when we fight this little battle, we will try to make sure that every single enemy actually dies, so that we don't have to deal with it again. Alrighty, Guardians, you can stay where you are, but these guys need to move. Fire Slayers, we're gonna start with you, head you down to burninate some rats. Eric Grundadrek, I know you're pretty adept at that sort of thing, and in fact, your flame cannons deserve to be named. You're a new community cannon, a legendary lord after all, so Flames of Herrick for the cannons, and Skaven's Bane for the other. Oh, lovely. Have we got, might as well name these Iron Drakes as well while we're here. You can be Jartrom Legion, and you can be Bugman's Breath. I like it. Alrighty. Ooh, also Malachi. He's got his 2 new Thunder Barges coming in, doesn't he? Snorri Grimson, you're 2 turns, or 1 turn maybe, away from him. Let's name these preemptively while they're moving in. HMS Victory for you. Although maybe we should modify HMS to some kind of... HMS Her Majesty should be, High King's ship, HKS? I don't know. Something like that. And then you can be Led Zeppelin. Alright. And then they'll join the Spirit of Grungni and replace these gyrocopters, which will use you to move north and transfer to another nearly ready army. Alrighty, anyway, back to the Fire Slayers, and these guys are gonna have the slowdown army besiege Karak Grom, and we'll move Stochel Gundrickson here in to reinforce immediately, in the hopes that these guys, with their super elite tier 4, tier 5 garrison, with a garrison building, with Kemmler and these other armies, move in to try to attack us. That's what I would like, anyway. We could have drawn them out by attacking Oddert Gantz, but I think it would be better if we actually have get a big, nice field battle. Alrighty. As long as you can actually come in and reinforce. Though it'll be a lot more dangerous without the Fire Slayer army to back up. Now, we will need to level these guys in case we do get attacked, as that is fairly likely. You slow down army. You want to max out Thunderer. We have no rank 7, so nobody will get any benefits out of that. We have... Venerate Grugni will give us +4 melee defense, but doesn't really benefit the army otherwise, whereas Venerate Morgrim will give us no other benefits, but will give us a tiny bit of ammunition on the artillery, though frankly, the 2 engineers in this army should be able to refill 2 units of Grudge Throwers just fine. I'm gonna say melee defense is probably the better pick, because, well, frankly, neither one of these are too great for what we've got here. Admittedly, this does give us additional engineer capacity, but at this point we've started building engineer buildings everywhere, so hopefully it won't matter too much. And a rally for you, sir. Runesmith, you have Rune of Hearth and Home and Wardbreaker. Let's max out Sharpen Weapons for you. And maybe max out Rune of Oath and Steel and Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Then once again, it would be a good idea to head through Master Rune of Spite and maybe the Healing Rune as well. Anyway, you're ready to reinforce, I take it, but let's level you up just in case. Venerate Valea versus Venerate Grimnir. I mean, this is just a Guardian Lord, so it doesn't really matter what he has. But you should still have Axe Lord. And, I mean, we could go Tapestry of those and stuff. At least give him some Slayer units in here. Just force all the Longbeards to take a Slayer Oath anyway. After they leveled up. That was potential. Anyway, let's go for Rally, and then I want to get into Stand Your Ground. Although you're already leveling Axe Lord and stuff, so now it would be a dumb idea to not have Axe Lord. So yeah, Stand Your Ground. Most likely we'll just have a regular Dwarf Lord start leading this army in a bit. You, Drong Redmane, are Karaki. I don't remember which army you were going to join, but move forward under the assumption that it's one of these. And Brock Ironpick. You are waiting, and in fact that's kind of still going to be the case, but move this way into Karaz-a-Karak. You're about to get a new army going, and then Morgus Drenger is the starting point for one of our new armies, our Armored Slayer army. Bernath Baruk is an all-artillery army with that machinist trait and the bonus reload reduction. We'll see how that works out, with of course the Goblin Heroes acting as the melee line as somebody suggested. And Kazran Grimbrow. Looks like you can't reach Kazad Fricand. Looks like Kemler is moving to Karak X Vilaz. Let's do this. Let's put you into ambush stance. Man, I see a lot of armies running around from the Vampire Coast. I mean, we haven't really fought any Vampire Coast, so we can enjoy doing so if they actually come around. Alrighty, and I believe that's all the armies here, so we can end the turn and presumably get attacked in various places. Here we go. Skip. Wait. There could be a full stack here and it could attack us. Let us level you up just in case. So you have Fire and Fury and Grimnir's heirs. You would be missing nothing. That's everything, isn't it? Yes, perfect. And Dowie Firepower, honored by Grimnir, and okay, that's good as well. Death Wish, I guess we could get Demons Be Damned, though it's not helpful. Your points are actually good. Alright, let's start going through Rune of Grimnir, so that you don't get bowled over by everything that looks at you. In case we get attacked, let's get Esteemed Combatant on the Thane. Runesmith, you are in Sharpened Weapons. Though frankly, another Runesmith with Hardened Armor would be decent as well, but anyway. You can have Rune of Hearth and Home, Wardbreaker. We already have Damping, but we should probably get another point in... maybe Rune of Oath and Steel. If the line of Slayers gets charged, they're going to need the extra armor and melee defense to survive. Let's get another point in Zip our 42-pounders. A little bit of requisition as well, as the Slayers have relatively low ammunition, the Slayer Pirates, I mean. And they could always use a little bit extra. Anyway, you're all ready for when you inevitably get attacked. No siege equipment where? Here, let's build some siege equipment. Just in case, I'm 99% sure they're going to sally out. But we'll find out. One other thing, the other thing other than transferring a ton of cash to the Imperials that I did between the episodes was to use a bunch of Oath Gold. And the Oath Gold was spent on primarily a couple of items. The Ironbeard's Rings, which have been distributed to fire armies, I think not all of them, but some of the fire armies that need the additional fire weakness. Which is great, Aura with 25% fire weakness, plus the Gatekeeper's Hammers. In King Azrael's Frostfire army in particular, with the fire and the ice units, this means that we have now fire weakness aura and chilling aura and frostbite attacks, all combining with the fire damage and attacks, which is pretty nice. I'm loving the fact that we actually managed to get a Frostfire theme going with this. I think King Azrael and his Frostfire theme is going to be around on the channel for a long time. Anyway, I believe that's all we got to do, so let's end the turn. Let's get attacked. And it will be Thorek that gets attacked by the Tzeentchans. We got 2 full stacks here and a pretty good pile of enemies by the looks of it. I'm pretty excited. They've got decent veterancy. They should be able to overwhelm our ranged units, if nothing else. And ooh, I should have gotten Chilling Aura for the Master Engineer. And frankly, everybody in this army could probably use it, but anyway. I think this will be a good fight. Let's get to it. Alrighty, here we go. A little bit weird to see it from the other side now, as in being against Chaos rather than playing Chaos, but at the same time we've had a lot more time with Thorgrim than we had with Kairos. Anyway, Tzeentch stands against us with a big old pile of units. 2 full stacks are ready to move against us, though of course they'll have to do so under fire from many a grudge thrower. This one won't misfire and singe anybody's beards. Just good old-fashioned rock to the face that is, you know, the size of somebody's torso. Anyway, we're going to start the bombardment and we'll try to focus down the enemy Forsaken, as they're the ones probably the most threatening here after the units of Flamers. The less Forsaken that are able to close the distance with us and make it to our main line, the less likely the enemy can do anything, because the range units will suffer under the missile fire spam from all of our, well, missile units. Speaking of, an enemy Iridescent Horror or Herald, I don't know what it was, but it moved in and then it moved out as it was banished. Our range fire continues, and it looks like the first of the enemy Forsaken are down to about half HP, though I see this one has not yet lost a single model, so I'm gonna take a little bit of effort there. And the enemy's about halfway to us so far, with only the fastest moving elements of the army having reached us. So we still got a fairly long way to travel, and our left flank is completely secure as we have this big old plateau here. I suppose we could have moved all the way back, but I didn't want to be near to the edge of the screen. Oh, it looks like over on the right flank some Centaurs are lining up together with some Furies, though it looks like these guys have decided to wait until the arrival of the main line. The AI does have a tendency to do that, and we're certainly going to punish it for just sitting there with those Centaurs. And they are fairly fragile after all. No missile block and no missile resistance, just physical resistance, which we do magical damage, I believe. Oh, actually we don't. Wait, did I not get Venerate Smednir on Thorek? Am I crazy here? Did he not have magical damage? Huh, maybe I didn't. Alright, gotta double check that, because I had intended to, because we really want magical attacks on these guys specifically to fight the demons. Anyway, speaking of demons, we have now switched our fire from Forsaken to pink and blue horrors, focusing first on the pink ones. And doing so quite well as well. The enemy is still trying to dodge our shots, which does combine very well with our Quarreler fire, because as the enemy moves around to dodge artillery shots, it allows our Quarrelers to fire upon those units that are attempting to dodge. Looks like we have another unit of Centaurs trying to move in on our left flank. And we'll now start taking hits yet again from the Quarrelers, but we'll get countercharged by Thorek, who is not going to get threatened by this big old pile. He's got 77 melee defense, well, fairly decently lower than Thorgrim, but Thorek's still pretty good. It looks like we do have a unit of Furies moving in, and I have brought shame to Thorek's name because I decided to use a Flash Bomb upon them. Master Rune of Slowness and Flash Bomb combine to reduce the Fury's speed down to merely 11, and effectively leaving them stuck in the sky. They can't land, even though they're trying to get towards our, well, whichever range units they're trying to get towards. And this unit will achieve absolutely nothing. Still, a very nice combination with the Flash Bomb and Rune of Slowness, I gotta say, especially helpful against the enemy flyers. Anyway, the balance of power has shifted in our favor to about 55% perhaps. The enemy's center line has been pretty much obliterated by concentrated fire from the Grudge Throwers, but the enemy still has about a third of its army left on its own right flank and our left, and it's trying to get towards our army using the cover of the plateau, which does make sense and is a good idea, considering we're doing the exact same thing. Drop a nice Rune of Wrath and Ruin upon the Tsangors, and, well, actually all it did was break their barrier. But at least we have Forsaken to still fire upon, and those Forsaken did not have a very good day, unshielded as they are, unlike the Tsangors. Considering the fact that Tsangors and Forsaken can sort of keep pace with each other, it might be a good idea to use Tsangors as a sort of mainline shielded units, and then Forsaken on the flanks. Frankly, we could. I'm just trying to make army compositions for Tzeentch while playing Thorgrim at the same time. Though we still have a fair few army compositions I'm interested in trying in this campaign. Fortunately, all our units are basically free, all of our buildings are free, and, well, we can just try whatever we want. Anyway, enemies still moving in, and the units of Ironbreakers will check their blasting charges. Not really supposed to be here, but we'll take it. Thorgrim does, or Thorek rather, does start with them, so there it is. And the balance of power shifts further in our favor to about 70%. The enemy army still failing to reach us, still blobbing up over on our left flank with the biggest concentration of units that they have, and are now firing back upon us with those pink and blue horrors. I noticed that the pink and blue horrors are not suffering the bug that prevents them from firing here, and are doing just fine. Kind of rude, but okay game. And here come the blob of Chaos Spawn. 2 units together, so 48 Chaos Spawn that are being currently held back by Thorek. He's going to activate that Stand Your Ground, Master Rune of Oath and Steel, giving him ludicrous amounts of armor and melee defense. Up to 225 armor, 122 melee defense, and is going to start lighting up the background with Cladbrokak. He is unmovable, and those Chaos Spawns stand no chance at breaking through him. The Flamers have arrived as well, but fortunately, once again, that plateau shields us, allowing us to arc our shots over where the Flamers can't reach us, and destroy them before they can achieve anything, while Thorek and his Ironbreakers hold back the Forsaken and the Chaos Spawn. Beautiful. Looks like the balance of power is at about 80% in our favor now. Another unit of Forsaken charges in this one at, well, more or less full HP. Unfortunately for them, we had a spare runesmith to charge into them and countercharge them, distracting them long enough for our range units to reposition and get ready to bring them down. Though, by the looks of it, it's not really needed all that much anymore, as pretty much every enemy unit has failed to reach our lines, and the battle is pretty much ours. Only the Chaos Spawn and the Demonic units remain, the Unbreakable and the soon-to-be Banished. And all the single entities in this army, by countercharging all the enemies, look like they did pretty darn well. And there we go, down go the last of the Chaos Spawn, and away go the last of the demons. Alrighty, and there we are. Thorek wins the day, and by the looks of it, hasn't suffered too much in the way of damage or casualties at all. Alright, army is certainly starting to grow on me. Well done, Thorek. I keep saying Thorgrim and Thorek and confusing the two. I know, but I can't shake it. Alright, there we go. I guess, well, at least they're right that these things won't misfire, and the Tzeentchians certainly learned that this day. Looks like we got plenty of damage on both of the Grudge Throwers. At least the Grudge Settler variant, so roughly twice as much as both the Goblobbers and the Grudge Throwers with the Rune of Burning, both of which did pretty well, hovering around 20-ish K on the various units of Quarlers, including the Beer Gut Warriors and Urky Eye Pokers there, and our single unit of Ironbreakers still in this army. I'm still probably thinking to replace them with a unit of Everguard, but, well, we'll need Thorek to actually stop first and then deal with that. Anyway, looks like we got barely any Oath Gold, so I guess we'll just heal up to make sure that we can take these guys out for good afterwards. Alright, these guys are selling out to kill Malachi again. And you know what? I think what we'll do is we'll auto-resolve this, because we fought literally this exact same battle last episode, and we won it and only allowed one unit to escape, which for whatever reason just destroyed the, allowed the settlement garrison to recover, broke off our siege. We know we would win, and we know we would win with barely any losses, so just auto-resolve. No need to fight the exact same battle in the exact same circumstances. Alrighty, there we go. One matter of significance happened over the end turn, and that is, let's see if we can see it here. Talisman of Preservations, Armor, Stonemason, Plague, Blood Spike Mesa. Where are we here? Oh no. Damn you, Plagues. Alrighty, let's go for the Venerate the Ancestors to try to counteract that as best we can. And also, while we're here, might as well build some stuff. And there we go. Anyway, the thing of significance that happened was... Hey, Ulfar Norgrimling's up and running, good. Okay, didn't say anything here, but this. Mr. Hag Grief here, Malice Darkblade, decided to declare war on us, and I was perfectly content to just let him live while we dealt with the High Elves, but it looks like we're going to have to move back with the Jartrum stack. Oh well, I mean, one elf burns just as well as the next, so we can burn down the Dark Elves and then move back towards the High Elves. Frankly, once again, we'll probably need a couple of armies out here to deal with this, and yeah, that hasn't changed. Mr. Hergar Ironwill. Looks like these guys did not sally out. Nonetheless, I would like to replace you now with Mr. Ulfar Norgrimling. Gotta have a Norgrimling to lead Norgrimling's Ironbreakers after all, and there we go, and that does not cancel the siege by the looks of it. Beautiful. Alrighty, so let's, before we siege, get you Venerate Smednir for the magical damage explosions. The melee attack loss is a little bit annoying, but what can you do? And I guess more armor and physical resistance, although funnily enough the physical resistance won't help us against our own explosions because they're magical. Inspiring Presence, we'll obviously want Grimnir's Heirs for the various units of Ironbreakers, and Fire and Fury for the Engineers. And then we'll want to Rally, we'll want Blessed by or Honored by Grimnir, and then Dowie Firepower, and to Stand Your Ground. We will also want to go for the... I guess Master of the Ancient Lore, and then Rune of Speed, Damping, Rune of Wrath, and Rune of Oath and Steel. Oh, one short of Oath and Steel. Well, we have a base version of it anyway, so it doesn't matter, but gotta get Forge Fire and the other stuff afterwards. This Runesmith, for some reason, had a point. I guess he leveled over the end turn, or either that or I forgot something, which is a distinct possibility. Let's get you Damping. You're Karaki anyway. Let's screw up others' magics, I guess. We'll quick save this in case the game crashes. And we're just going to auto-resolve this because, frankly, this is a waste of time. We're at a point in the campaign where fighting weak stacks is kind of... I mean, I suppose fighting weak stacks is at any point in the campaign, to be truthful about that. Anyway, let's go for Karaz Ankor here, and, well, look around for these guys. I'm sure they have a full stack somewhere. Are they still at war with these guys? Wait. Oh, they won the war against these guys. Huh. I guess we could see them in a perpetual war with the House of Baal, but it looks like they did manage to take their main territory. Good for them. Now they're going to lose it all, but still good for them. Tech Thief has now got a gyro cut. Oh, I don't really care. It's a Tech Thief. Next up, we got Tex. And I believe since we've done the Way of the Clans, we can now move through Slayer Onslaught to buff up our Slayers. It's about time, since in the late game we've started to use a fairly decent pile of Slayers. We're up at 605,000 gold per turn now, which is pretty good. And, okay, we have to decide... Okay, this guy's going to be annoying, isn't he? Probably gonna raid us. Huh, out of curiosity. This guy's willing to peace out. He actually doesn't hate us all that much either. We could just go straight into a defensive alliance with him if we really wanted to. He is in the swamplands now, isn't he? Floating Village in Bitter Sand Swamp. Tree of Beards. Huh. It's an interesting name. I wonder what that means, if anything. What is this? Poxmakers of Nurgle. Huh, I don't remember it saying that there was a cult discovered. Well, that's so rude. Let's delete this, and... Oh, that's where the plague came from, I think. Is this a Skaven plague? No, it's an Urglite plague. Alright, well, we were going to deal with Kugeth eventually anyway, and then the stuff down here. Although it's a little bit annoying that these guys are occupying territories. At least they're not key dwarfen settlements. I would like Thorgrim to deal with Mr. Kugeth, but at the same time, who better to deal with Teclis as well? Not that we really care about Teclis' defeat rate, mind you, and Teclis is a lot closer to Belegar, I'll admit as well. Gotta think about that. You know what? We're probably still better poised to have you take Nakara, so we'll move you towards Nakara while Groth Baruk will move down to Felwing Cave. And in fact, you can reach Felwing Cave in one go, which is great. We're not probably going to keep all of these swampy territories, frankly. Oh, right, I was going to potentially peace out with these guys. Yeah, fine, peace out with them. I mean, I got nothing against them, and, what, I do the... Oh, some of the Imperial... Oh. Huh. I guess we could always... I just want to say something. No diplomatic contact, but they really don't like all of the actions against them, and the aversion isn't helping either, but at the same time... Oh, wow. Maybe that is a bad idea. Never mind, you know what? All of our allies will hate this. I think. It might actually fix itself, but why bother risking? It's not like we're looking to get anything out of Kotep's forces. I guess we could use some of their constructs to stand in for rune golems, but, you know, it's not a huge deal and/or issue. Anyway, ooh, hello, we've got a pile of Norskins moving in to attack Grombrindal. That's fun. Mr. Grimley, you're heading down here now, since going northward. No, northwest never worked out. Which is fine. Land at the frozen landing. That's what you do. And then sit there for a turn. And now you really need engineers. We have a wayfarer. You know what? I was going to get some specific stuff, but I at this point we just should get anything we can. Take every engineer that we can every single turn. So, oh, you know what? Get one here at the Hall of Urslo instead, because... Oh, we got another Tromak Thane as well. Get the Azuli guy and then delete him. And then wherever we need a Thane, we'll put in the Tromak Thane. Master Engineer Wayfarer. And you know what? Grimley is a traveler. His claim to fame was a not-so-doomed expedition to Skavenblight in the original Belegar campaign that he came from, so, you know... Alrighty, and then Gromby, I guess it's your turn. Do we need to fight this, is the question. Frankly, from what we've seen, these guys stand absolutely no chance against Grombrindal's force. Oh, Grombrindal's hit level 50. I didn't even realize that. Very nice, Gromby. Very nice indeed. And you have 13 points to distribute. You don't have Rune of Grimnir or Obstinacy. And unfortunately, you're so insanely point-hungry due to the need for... I mean, I'd love to get Ancient Acumen, but... We gotta make you a fighter lord too, man. And I don't think we can distribute any more stuff anywhere else. You have no artillery. I'm just double checking for missing anything. Yeah, alright, so let's do this. You're obviously going to get full plate armor. You should probably get hard to hit. Out of these, I'm going to say Scarred Vet. He already hits pretty hard, and frankly, the biggest threat to him at this point is friendly fire from the insanely high damage dealing units. Not that he benefits a crazy amount from Scarred Vet, but anyway, obviously here it's Foe Seeker and Blade Master into Colossal Strike. And we have 2 points remaining only. Wow, so we could go for the Rune Warded Armor, Master Crafted Weapon. We could go for the Rune of Grimnir. Oh, the Missile Resistance and the Mass would be nice. We could get additional speed, though he's already extremely quick. We could get 20% additional weapon strength. Oh, man. It's a hard choice, I admit, between the Rune of Grimnir and the... I mean, this is really solid for 1 point. 5 melee attack, 15% weapon strength. This is 20% weapon strength only for 2 points. And 10% physical resistance and missile block chance versus 25% mass. As much as I'd love the speed or to hit harder, I think we're going to get Rune Warded Armor. That's all we got. Which also means no Ancient Acumen, plus 3 recruit rank faction-wide, which would admittedly have been nice. But as a super point-hungry lord, that's all we got. Alright, and actually speaking of, go and attack those. We'll just auto-resolve it, it's close victory. I mean, I think we know that this wouldn't be a close victory, it's just basic Marauders. On the other hand, I really enjoy... No, you know what, I'm gonna fight this. I just really enjoy using this arm. It's really fun to watch, and I don't think that's changed. Easy battle or not. Alrighty, here we go. Let's have them moving into position now. Unfortunately, with all the buffs that we've got in this army, we can reposition very, very quickly. At least for dwarves. 51 speed on those iron breakers. Isn't it just fantastic to see? Though, despite all that speed, will they actually ever be needed? This army has a ludicrous amount of range damage available from all of those torpedoes and all of those iron drakes firing away at the enemy. The enemy's front line about to take the first full volley from our units, and their front line units are in absolute collapse already. Absolutely insane amounts of damage here. Let's see if any of those Norscans manage to run that gauntlet and get even close to our battle line. Granted, they were waiting for their reinforcements to arrive, and, well, they're going to lose a lot of their army if they choose to wait like this. And there we go. Well, looks like at least a few of them have gotten annoyed enough to start moving towards us, but those torpedoes continue to drop down upon their ranks. Certainly a disparity in technologies here. That is a lot of torpedoes. Oh, I love watching those things slam into the enemies. Iron Drakes are just such a frickin' entertaining unit. Those poor Norscans. They were doomed the day that we decided to have Grombrindal go this way and deal with the Norscans for us. Alrighty, here comes another nice volley of torpedoes, both from our Grudge Settler gyrocopters and our regular torpedoes. Horses and men alike falling to the ground, missing half their body, exploded by the torps. And ooh, looks like an enemy unit actually does manage to reach us by flanking around slightly, smashing into the Iron Drakes with a unit of Norscan Warhounds. Admittedly, they're not going to achieve anything. Or Iron Breakers, rather. Iron Breakers are at 85 melee defense and 125 armor. And of course, Grombrindal is here as well, though it looks like he's not really needed to see off the doggos. And oh, another unit of doggos over on the side. I didn't even bother moving our army in order to reposition them and take these guys out. I let the Iron Drakes and the Iron Breakers fight them a little bit. Why not? And what's our melee defense? Up to 67 on the Iron Drakes. Beautiful. Alright, good luck, Norscans. I mean, a flamethrower directly to the face at point-blank range probably isn't much more pleasant than a flamethrower at not point-blank range. And there we go. That unit is done, especially now that Grombrindal has moved on and is going to try in vain to escape this situation. Even their corpses are being tossed around by the blasting charges and torpedoes. Running away seems to be about just as bad as on the approach. Anyway, the first enemy army has been destroyed and the reinforcing army has arrived. We're going to reposition ourselves on top of this hill and get ready to take a few more pot shots at the enemy as soon as they move into range. We are free to wait for them to do so here. It will make, by the looks of it, no difference whatsoever. And the enemy lord just melts under a single volley from a couple of units, and those marauder horses drop like their HP just disappeared. There we go. And technically speaking, the torpedoes aren't really meant for this sort of thing, as they don't have explosive damage, so it's kind of ineffective to have them and go after units like this. That's what the engineers are for. But the nice aspect of this is it's really fun to watch them. Even with every single torpedo killing only a single unit at a time, it might actually be more entertaining than the engineers just exploding everybody. And there we go. With that, the second army breaks, having had no more chance than the first did, and the battle is Grombrindal's and his fancy new toys. Alrighty, there we go. It's interesting that it doesn't say what the XP is. Grombrindal's level 50, but he should still have the mentor ability to transfer the XP. I'd like actually to see how much XP he's given out. I hope that mentor isn't broken. I haven't noticed that the Traumac Thanes have been leveling any faster than any other heroes have, and we have a bunch of them. Every single Thane of ours is Traumac, so they should all be sharing XP within or between each other, and should be out-leveling all the other heroes significantly, but I haven't noticed that at all. Weird. Well, anyway. The amount of firepower that this army outputs is just absolutely obnoxious, and granted, these two enemy armies were in march stance and thus slowed and severely weakened, but yeah. And we got one loss, which I believe was a friendly fire loss as well. Somebody shamed their ancestors this day. Execute and loot. Actually, I'm curious. So we have a Thane in here which has 3 points, and the Runesmith in here has 4 points, and the Engineers are lower level, but they have 6 points. I really don't see the Thanes out-leveling anybody. Odd. It would be unfortunate if it's broken, but at the same time, I mean, they're supposed to gain 20% extra XP and share 25% of all their XP, and that's all the Thanes and all of our armies on the map. Frankly, they should all be rank 50 by now, but not so much. Well, either way, and I guess you're gonna go to Vinscore here, and we really need to stop, but I guess until we send Grimly down here, we're just going to have to deal with it. The other option would be to actually send Grimly down to help it instead. And the amusing aspect of this is he got Skaven Blight in one campaign. Maybe he can get help it in the other. You know, I don't dislike that either. Although, admittedly, Grombrindal would probably benefit more from Thrott's defeat trait. That is still the case. It's extra HP, and he's got way more HP than a standard High Lord, nearly twice as much, so... well, either way, go to Vinscore for now. I might send you back just to pick up Thrott's defeat trade. Maybe even go around this way. Certainly potential for it. Let's quick save this in case you explode, and in a good way. Come on, there we go. Yeah, way more damage from the auto-resolves than actual fights, but that's hardly surprising. Oh, you know what we should do? You're rank 50, and you should be transferring 30% of your XP. I wonder if we can check this. So, well, okay, next time he fights, or Thorgrim fights, or anybody who's level 50 fights, I think those are the only two current level 50s, we gotta double check somebody else's XP, and see if the XP transfer is functioning. We should also check the Thanes on that, like not the Thane in the army, but any other Thane. Like you have Traumac, right? You do. Alright, so... what we will do is we will take, for example, a look at Gromby's Thane and Ulfar Dragonslayer. You currently have 8445 XP. 8445. Then we will take Finn Arkan Draskelson, and we will push him towards, I guess, Bitterstone Mine. Alright. We'll auto-resolve this. 8445. Alright, auto-resolve this. Quick save and then auto-resolve this. In theory, your Thane should transfer enough of his XP to... okay, 8445. There we go. Talisman of Preservation, Choir Master. I'm just going to double check that this is a Traumac Thane. Yes. Alright, so, back to Mr. Grimly. No, Grombrindal. It was 8445, it is now 8535. Aha, okay, so it does work. It does work, but the amount transferred is so tiny that it's kind of irrelevant. Although it should still be relevant considering we have like 20 Thanes running around, each with the Traumac trait, but at least it works. That at least makes me happy, as otherwise I would have been concerned. Anyway, Finn... I guess we ought to resolve just so you're damaged again. Sorry, buddy. I was just really into trying to test that thing out. Anyway, Thorak, you had a great time fighting the Tzeentchans, and now you're going to take their settlement from them. Quick save and auto-resolve. Honestly, I might not even transfer some of these settlements and just erase them or, you know, delete them. Because I'm starting to think that our allies might not be able to hold them. But anyway, for now, just start building them up. We got 2 turns, so next turn we're going to have to transfer them. Ooh, I'd like to end the turn this episode so that we can Actually, you know what? You should be getting defensive so that we can transfer settlements. Or that I can do that between the episodes, because it's going to take forever to transfer those settlements. And ooh, you might be a little bit too late to save these guys, I think, sir. Oh, the garrison has already been destroyed. I take it that Archaon's other armies wiped out the garrison at Zamoski, and then are going after them. Well, we could try to save the Rhoda of the Dawn, and... Is that Tamarkan? It is. Ooh, Thorek might be fighting Archaon and Tamarkan. I don't dislike the idea. I readily admit.
If you want something done right.
Well, it's probably too late to... Well, he still needs some more of these guys, but I don't think we have any spares. Unless this guy had a few spares. Nope, you have every single other type of Grudge Slayer unit except the type that Thorek needs. Fine. Oh, what can you do? Vikram Burdrick is fine, Gotri hold fast. Guess who's not holding fast no more? I guess we're gonna push towards Fort Oberstar. Craig Whitebeard is... Oh, you're just a troop ferry. Okay, so you are going this way. We are going to have Gotri hold fast auto-resolve Oberstar, because, I mean, yeah. And just auto-resolve this. I did not quick save it, but it hardly matters. Oh, this isn't Vlad, is it? No. And occupy. Oh, it didn't crash. Good, 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 good. Province Morfen secured, but not for too long. Just go for the... Empower the guilds here, and then build some of these up. I don't necessarily have to transfer everything to our allies, but we probably still should transfer a bunch. Alright. Like so, and then you continue onward. You are going to bring these armored slayers to the mountains to potentially fight Skaven or something else. Bugman, two things for you. First of all, okay, I guess you're gonna be stopped here for a turn because we need to get you your engineer. And then you're still missing your Thane, who is all the way up here unless I'm mistaken somewhere. You. Hegenbor Bright Axe, you're also a Traumac Thane. But funnily enough, it'd be faster to just summon a new Traumac Thane right here. You know what, let's just do this. You summon here, and we'll pop you into Joseph's caravan next turn, at the cost of one of the Slayer Pirates, I think. We should have probably more Bugman's Rangers than Slayer Pirates, but then anyway, that will be ready. This means that you traveled all the way down there for no purpose. You can, I guess, go... join one of these armies. Oh my lord, you've got a long way to travel up there as well. Yeah, maybe keep traveling down here and join Hegenbor Red Axe's army. Or wait, actually he's, wait. He's deleted now, or not deleted, reset so that he can command another army. Anyway, King Azrael, you are finally going to the Silver Pinnacle, sir. No more undead here. You can level up Mordheim while you're at it, too. Lovely. Alright. And look at all this territory we're going to transfer to our allies. Hopefully they're investing in everything since we gave them $1 million billion money. Like, we actually gave them like 300,000 gold each, so they better be putting it to good use and don't need as much babysitting. Useless Umgi. I mean, we titled an episode Useless Umgi many an episode now and ago now, and that I would say has still not changed. What is this? And it looks like these guys are going to try to claim Gorinatek, but that's fine by me. You go to Dagnapur, and looks like you're just out of range. Alright, go into Dushika. Man, I guess Azag is sitting down here. Oh, this is gonna... Okay, I'll do this between the episodes. It's a silly waste of time. Or you know what, if we want to end the turn, I might do this now, but maybe not now. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have remaining. Somebody else has got to move. Malachi, that was you. I will try not to forget you, though no promises. And oh, you stopped moving. Go here. Alright, Dwinbar Ranulfson, the Axe Storm. You are in range of Nurglights, and oh, I do see some Nurglights moving to take out Floating Village here. But I think since we're not technically yet at war with Nurglights, we probably want to take these guys out. So we're going to go far as we can here, and then proceed to Morgheim first. And I see Ublug there. Alrighty. Let's do Dwinbar Ranulfson. Who's up next? If I can find this guy again. I've gotten rid of a couple of the extra lords, and I think just the speed matters up. As soon as our techs are done, I'm going to get rid of the rearguard lords as well. And just because they're... Okay, you... Callan Helldower. Oh, right. You will need to transfer... Okay, just so that I don't forget, because I might, I'm going to transfer your Quarrelers with great weapons, because this guy's supposed to deliver them to another army.
To doom, then.
Like so. Good. And then I guess you can sit here. Alright, and then this thing resets, so we gotta find Mr. Callan Helldower again. Man, we have a massive empire with so many armies around. And yes, we can afford like 50 more armies, but again, every turn would take like 50, well, episodes. Summon Garrison auto-resolve this, quick save and then auto-resolve. Though admittedly, it hasn't crashed since the last mini update on the, old world. Maybe it fixed the instability. Huh, I wonder. Domination campaign victory. Oh, wow. I mean, yep, and that's a domination campaign victory on turn 99 on Old World. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I do think we still have a few more grudges maybe to settle, but we're certainly in the end game portion of the campaign, but it's just such a fun campaign. And this is probably as close as I'll most likely ever do to a world conquest in terms of the, in terms of Old World. I mean, look at the amount of territory we have. It's actually pretty insane. I mean, this isn't our territory, this is just the allies and stuff, but this is our territory, all the mountains here, this is all our territory, this is our territory, all of this down here, and then these little, well, big part of the Badlands, big part of all of this. I wish it would show our color scheme here, but alas, it doesn't. But I guess this thing might be broken in Old World. Anyway, continue campaign. Now, here's a question. Considering that we achieved this, do we get the long and short victory? No, we do not. Damn it. I wanted the rewards. Ah, game. But it's broken because obviously we completed one major grudge a long time ago, but it isn't giving us the reward, which is a shame. I readily admit, but what can you do? Anyway, Grothbarok was next, so Morgus Death Dealer, you're where you're supposed to be. Dimzad Blackbeard, you are traveling this way, and that has not changed, so keep traveling. And Stochel Gundrickson, you are... Oh! I mean, these guys didn't sally out, you little cowards. Did I stop besieging this? Huh. Why is this guy's siege cancelled? I swore I besieged Karagrom. It's very strange. Well, either way. Not like it matters over much. Let us get to you, Mr. Scaffold, or not you, Mr. Scaffold fast. Let's get this tech thief and move him down here, I guess. Guess your ambush failed, Kazran. Oh, and you have another one of these Quarrelers. Oh, that's perfect. Alrighty, all the armies are coming together. I started doing things out of order again. Anyway, you're gonna go to Fester's Spike and besiege it, maybe? Pyrrhic Victory. Ooh, yes, they got a proper garrison, so we'll start building some siege equipment, but we'll hope that the enemy will actually sally out and fight us. I think we can enjoy that. Anyway. Oh, do these guys have magical damage? They don't. Probably could use a Lichbone Pennant in this army. Alright, you sit there. We're not going to level you again, because we leveled you at the end of the turn, but I guess XP got transferred from whichever lord. Anyway, you. Try this. And they will indeed fight us because of the elite nature of this garrison. It's a lot of ghosties and blood knights and regular black knights and stuff. Lots of fast movers. Should be fun for the slow down army. Let's see how well they do. Wait, quick save because it'll be outside an enemy settlement, and if no dead rise, we'll have to immediately occupy it. Though it does seem to have gotten more stable. Anyway, go. Alrighty, here we go. Our slowdown army is ready to go, and, well, not ready to go in the sense that it isn't complete yet, but ready to go in the sense that it is ready to fight here. And the Vanguard deploying Outriders are here to make a little bit of a dent in this first little army. Ooh, I do really like these guys' color scheme, though. Maybe I'm just so biased towards the vampire counts that I feel like I like every single color scheme that they have, no matter which one it is. Or maybe just everything looks good, but this one, there's a lot of color coordination going, especially with the balefire in the eyes and on the horses and stuff. Anyway, the Outriders, Vanguard deployed, are having a pretty decent time. The enemy Black Knights are basically out, and we're going to switch their fire to the Crypt Horrors now instead. Of course, we do have our slow down Grudge Throwers, Grudge Settler, Grudge Throwers slowing the enemy down, so that's Monstrous Impact combined with Suppression, bringing the Crypt Horrors down to 7 speed. These poor guys, they're just stuck here essentially. And that's the whole idea behind this army. And of course we've got more slowdown ability as soon as the enemy actually closes the distance with our army, but this is at effectively max range. Which is very, very nice. Alrighty, and we've got the Corpse Cart and the enemy Necromancers still left as everything else has been destroyed. A single volley will hit the Corpse Cart and bring it down to half HP, though the enemy will pop an Invocation of the Heck to try to heal it. I'm pretty sure we've got more bullets than you've got in a Heck, however. And finally, nice to see the Imperials working together with our armies. I've been waiting to get a decent number of these Outriders here for a while now. One more volley into the Corpse Guard, I believe, and a couple more volleys into the Necromancer, who's already starting to lose his HP as well. That said, the enemy's reinforcements are nearly here, and it is the reinforcements that we have to be wary of, as this garbage little army was just an appetizer, and it is the elites of the reinforcements that might actually give us some pause. Anyway, looks like the Necromancer is done for, and the 3 Vanguard deployed Outriders have now completely wiped out the first army. A little bit of help from the Grudge Throwers, of course. You're gonna get a nice volley into the enemy Blood Knights, though it's not gonna do too much damage, as we have to run away lest the Hex rates catch up to us. Reasonably sure the Hex rates at 85 speed should still be a little bit faster than the Outriders because they have Strider and we do not. Gonna try to slow them down as best we can, and oh, they're immune to contact effects. Ah, so we can't stop them. That's actually quite interesting. I mean, I guess I knew they were immune to contact effects, but I mean, interesting in the sense that effectively the Ghosties are a complete counter to our army, and especially since our army doesn't do magical damage. They counter all of that slowdown action, and the non-magical missile fire also does not do too much damage to them, as they're super physically resistant. Oh well, and that's alright. We've got the Longbeards from our secondary army having moved in now, and they're going to hold back the tide. The enemy uses Face of Death to summon a pile of zombies to try to stop our Outriders running, but hopefully the piles of the Longbeards can both distract the zombies and the enemy Hex rates. Though of course it's the Hex rates that are going to be threatening here, and we're going to send our Dragon Slayer in to deal with them, or Demon Slayer rather. Alright, and how are we doing here? Hex rates are down to about half HP, and we've lost about a quarter of our HP in terms of our other units. Poor little Vargeist down to 11 speed from all that slowdown, and unable to move, stuck in the sky just like those Crypt Horrors were previously. Beautiful. A little pile of Longbeards over on the flank, looking like they're surrounded by zombies and by Hex rates, and I'm sure the Hex rates will bring a fair few down with all that magical armor-piercing damage that they have. Solid counter to the Longbeards as well. But it's all good, that's what they're here for. And ooh, we got more Ghosties on the way, can't be slowing them down, so all we can do is hope to do as much damage as possible to them before they reach our lines. Not gonna make that same mistake by allowing them to close as we did with the enemy Hex rates. And by the looks of it, these guys are nearly out. The first unit is destroyed, the second one is down to about 15% of its HP, and a few more volleys from the Quarrelers from our follower army and the Drake guns from our main army, and that unit goes down. Here comes another unit of Vargeists, which unfortunately was able to close the distance as we were too distracted with the enemy Ghost Coast. But that's alright, as they suffer a lot of damage fairly quickly as well, Vargeists being pretty fragile. Blood Knights have arrived over on the right flank as well and have charged on in, but have failed to send the Longbeards flying. Looks like that charge reflection and whatnot has prevented them from taking advantage. and thus they can't close the distance and move into our back lines. As soon as they back off, we get the Outriders starting to fire upon them, and it looks like they rapidly shed about 50% of their HP. As we know, our Outriders, and frankly even our own guns, can fire over the heads of our own Dwarfen units, so those Blood Knights are in a pretty bad place. They can't reach our main line, and as long as they stay in range, they're going to keep taking gunshots from our Outriders. It's a beautiful sight. The main enemy army is starting to move on in as well in the form of the piles of Graveguard. Looks like the Blood Knights are out, and this latest unit of Ghosts is out as well, and the Graveguard are probably not going to be able to reach our line either. Too slow, I would wager, down to 3 speed here, and essentially stuck in the middle of the battlefield. And of course, the Grudge Settler Grudge Throwers are pretty darn fantastic at dishing out damage to units like these. Poor Graveguard. And by the looks of it, we really didn't even need a second army, though admittedly the Longbeards did really help. Alrighty, and I do believe this is the last unit of Graveguard on the field, and as soon as they fall, the battle will be ours. Oh, for a second I thought Buddy lost his hand, but it's just dropping his sword. Alrighty, there we go. Decisive victory. Very nice. Alright, very, very nice. The slowdown army is certainly working quite well. Obviously, we wanted to get to the point where it doesn't need the sort of auto-resolve follower army here to help it, but, well, we'll need the engineers and the last of the Outriders in order to get that. We're getting there, we're getting there. We will, yes, replenish. Well, just replenish. We'll still want to occupy the settlement, and that'll mean probably another at least small auto-resolve. I don't like how there's Southern Realmer armies moving around, though. Also, are you able to encamp? I think you are. Alright, so we'll do this. You can auto-resolve and take care of Grom with a, well, auto-resolve. Alright, good. And Furry Ranger's Quiver, not that you needed, we'll occupy it, and we did not crash. Lovely. And another Engineer's Knapsack. These are great. Love putting these on our you know, sort of Thanes and our whatever. Basically all heroes. As they provide a lot of value that way. Anyway, we've got... Are these guys actually at war? Oh, they're not at war. They're still friends, eh? How much do you dislike us for what we're doing to the Barrow Legion? You want to maybe just betray the Barrow Legion? That would be great. Betray Barrow Legion, minus 35. They wouldn't do it for 1,000,000 gold. That's interesting. I do wish that the game sort of didn't make money kind of worthless in the late game, in the sense that, like, you can't buy a settlement or ask any ally to do anything for any amount of gold, because it's like dynamic, right? The cost increases with the strength of your faction, so what used to be worth 2,000 gold is now worth 20 billion gold because of the way that works, and it's silly. So what, you wouldn't do some minor thing like breaking a agreement with a faction that you more or less dislike anyway, or trading us a garbage territory for 1,000,000 gold? It's I don't know. It's silly. Either way, auto-resolve this. And keep on searching for foes, I guess. Yeah, heal up. Keep nice and healed, especially since you don't have the follower armor. And another Talisman of Preservation. I think we're at 10 now, or are we missing? Or were we missing 2? Just in case, I'll build 2 more of the deeps things. Oh, speaking of building, great hold for you, please. And you already have the trading warehouse. Beautiful work. Let's immediately get to the Karaz Ankor, because we also need the Oath Gold. And then, while we will eventually build the Great Gate here, for now you can build the Engineers building. Like so. And then the last 2 things will be the Shrine and the Deeps. Dumatberg, you are where? I mean, we're still kind of fortifying this portion of our territories. I think that still has to be the case because we're surrounded by enemies. If eventually this all becomes Southern Realms, then we will be free to destroy or delete the military structures, but now is not that time. wonder if Kemlar will be willing to attack a not quite full slowdown army, eh? Would be putting it in a dangerous position, but I don't dislike the idea. The alternative would be to attack him with Khazra and Grimbrow, which I also like the idea of. We are going to reset him and give him a proper army. He currently has Grimnir Zares, Thunderer, and Axe Lord. Grimnir Zares being somewhat useless here. I guess we could keep him with a few Hammerers. Also, shouldn't you be a Bugman's Ranger? Oh, you do. We didn't have enough. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Are you able to reach this? Not really. We also have to take care of Buffdar, but we can't do it right now. Also, I guess we'll... Okay, here's what we'll do. Brock Ironpick. You will temporarily take Kazad Frukand, so you can move... I don't know. Down here. I don't think they'll intercept you because they'd be crazy to. Kazran, I guess we're just going to have you attack Kem.
By the Grudgebearer's will.
And he will indeed fight, but it's heroic victory and casualties low. Look, I like the idea of fighting Kemlar, but at the same time, it's just basic stuff. We killed his elite armies, and now he's got nothing. A single unit of Hex Wraiths is probably not worth our time and attention. Let us take the Oath Gold. Yes. Alright, he's gonna back off. Too bad that this is the one time that I would have actually preferred Kemlar to survive, because then we would have doubled up on his defeat trade, but oh well. Not a big deal. And his defeat trade, I believe, is spell, or is it? Oh, you must have already had his Lich Killer. Yeah, spell resistance 10% for the army. Good. You're going to encamp, and you're going to proceed closer toward Kazad Frukand, which we will take shortly. And the Scaff, you can just reach these guys to auto-resolve them as well, before moving southward to Kazad Setazund. Law-abiding Setazund. Let's auto-resolve. That was awful. Anyway, we will take the... Well, no Oath Gold really, just keep nice and healthy, I guess. Keep the Ranger standard, and we will not go into any kind of stance. Whoa, what the heck? Whoa, what is going on here? Huh? What is it? Oh, I guess it's... Huh. I guess I must have clicked on this passage, the Water Canal, or whatever this is. A river. That river that flows under the mountains or through the mountains, and it's trying to go in there. Well, whatever, I will just try to remember that I did that and hopefully not screw this guy over. Anyway, who's next? Malachi's good, Brugard Drexler is good. Actually, is Malachi good? Well, actually, I had already forgotten about Malachi, and I was talking about not forgetting. Anyway, Morngard is actually needed to go into position here at the edge of the mountains. Belagar. You're gonna take the Howless Camp. I don't think we really care about the Howless Camp. Frankly, we'll probably just transfer it to these guys, but that might keep them, you know, really... Whoa. Rangers become your superior version. How about that? You gotta be kidding me. This is going to kill a... okay. So it's you and Malachi now that the game doesn't like. Alright, fair enough. Maybe with a few more items to buff up the various units, that might fix it, we'll see. I certainly hope so. Anyway, you. Keep going northward, you've got a fairly long way to travel. But that's fine. And your army is not quite maxed out. What are you missing, incidentally? These three are supposed to... Oh, are we able to evolve them now? I think we are. So you are supposed to become a last Doomseeker. And then you two are supposed to become the last Giant Slayers. There we go, completing the army. 4, 4, 4, and then there are 2 regiments of renown leading them, plus the Everguard here. I like it. I like it a lot. Hopefully they face off against some foes that they have buffs against. Skeggy Threxen. You, sir, are, I guess, going to march stance. You better not die and lose us these Outriders, but I do want you to go and transfer them to Scav Holdfast. And we did get the Engineer this turn, did we not? Yes. Alrighty. Burnout's artillery army will be nearly ready. We got fire, we got axes. You know who doesn't like fire and axes? Anyway. We'll see. Story Ezreal, your army is sort of ready. We're going to keep it in these environs for now. You're missing 4 Regiment of Renowned Corlers, and I might make some modifications here, but for now you're good. Yeah, just go this way.
Grudges will be settled.
Like so. And then start traveling. We need to fix this situation, because inevitably the vampire coast will attack us. And no, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of a shootout with the vampire coast with this ranged army. And use the Hail Blaster volley guns together with the organ guns and see whether the Dowie tech outdoes the Imperial tech. Though granted, we have a lot of buffs on them, still it would be a nice little contest. Anyway, that's Belagar, who's fine as he is. Alaric Ranulfson is moving towards the Tzeentchen folks up here. I think you can maybe travel a little bit further. No, you cannot. Never mind. Don't do that. Go up here. Guardian... Okay, yeah, Guardian doesn't need to move. Come on, Ruinous. What are you doing? You're still recruiting run and gun, and... What are you missing? You're missing either another engineer... I mean, it would be nice to have a runesmith in here. Oh, actually, no. We need a Thane in here, specifically a Tromac Thane, because we need the Rangers to be given snipe. Yes. Okay, I gotta remember that. Oh, that means no room for a runesmith. We could get rid of one of the gyrocopters, but I'll think about it. It's probably not a big deal either way. Bugman is fine where he is. Here, Grundledrek. You, sir, are... Wait, was that this turn that we besieged or last turn? Oh, it was this turn. Okay, fine, fair enough. I was hoping that... Well, I'm just going to keep hoping that they will sally out, because I do think they will. These guys only got 1 level from the XP transfer, so I think we're okay. And Mournguard, are you in position now? You're probably supposed to be in position out here. It'll cost us a little bit more money at the edge of the territory, but I would also like you to actually keep an eye on what's going on out there. Oh, looks like the ogres aren't disliking us much anymore. We could always move out there and help them out, transfer all the territory in the Darklands to ogres and stuff, since we're not intent on taking it for ourselves. Don't get me wrong, we could. Once again, I'm just trying to do as much difference as possible from the Drajoeth campaign. Otherwise, I would have conquered the crater around Jarna Grund. Oh, speaking of Jarna Grund, we'll also probably march Thorek over there. See the most traditional versus the most innovative in the form of the Chaos Dwarfs. And that should be nice. Cadrin Redbeard, you are a new army that was supposed to burninate these greenskins. And I think that hasn't changed. You're missing heroes, but otherwise you're more or less good. Alright, we got the Slayers in combination with fire units, gun units, and iron breakers, yes. And you are a overseer? No, you're a Zufbar-born. I feel like a Zufbar-born guy should probably have some cannons. I'll think about it. I might actually get a new lord to actually command this army. Certainly a possibility. Anyway, tech thieves. I would like you to do some tech thievery.
Eureka!
Eureka indeed, sir. And hey. Stop getting stonemasons. We don't need them anymore. Scout. I no longer remember what you were supposed to be scouting out. I think you were looking for Imric. Drong Redmane, you were supposed to join one of these armies, but I don't remember which. And also, we do need to keep checking runesmiths for... Well, I don't dislike the... Well, actually, I don't like any of these. Take the Iron Gaze one. And disband them. There we go. Hoping to get a Karaki with the miscast chance, or possibly a... Thungni's Bloodline for the banishment. Contact effect, it's not bad. And I believe that's it. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to manually real quick our way through the Malachi and the Malachi and... Quick save. Malachi and Belagar fights. Which we will do as soon as I do this. And then we will... Well, we'll just super speed through this. We'll do building, and then I'd like to end the turn, which should allow the Fire Slayer army to be able to fight on its own. I'm pretty sure that's the major element that is still not fought its battle yet. And this should be super quick, I mean, because it's a, basic... Oh, although, depending on if they can summon, like, 50,000 bony boys, which is also a possibility. And we are damaged at the end of the day. Alrighty, nonetheless, though, we're gonna move up right here. And you guys are going to move up right here. Like so. Actually, I would like you to move away from each other a teensy bit so that there is a room for one of the engineers to move on. And Malachi and the engineers. Okay, so engineers, you're going to move up. Malachi, you are very slowly going to move up, but otherwise you're going to sort of stand guard with the with your... yeah, you know what, just stay here. He'll actually be in range fairly soon because he's got pretty crazy range. Alrighty, and I believe you guys can be group 1, you guys can be group 2, you guys can be group 3, and I believe that's it. That's all. Start battle. Alright, move forward. Let us get the things going, and you guys move forward. Get ready to back everybody up in a few seconds, and like so. Slayer Pirates, so you're going to be the ones backing off now. But keep the gyrocopters firing away. Good. And stop these guys from charging. Like so. Are they still moving with the flash bomb? You shouldn't be that fast. Go figure. Good job. Alrighty. Hey, Bony Boy's summoned right on top of our units. Not bad, AI. No. Oh, Goblin Hewers. No, please. Please, why you do this? Oh, they killed so many. Alrighty, well, Malachi, you are going to deal with these guys. You are going to stop them in their tracks. You guys will target them, and I would like you to target the damage slayers. We'll back off. Malachi, you want to pop off deranged munitions to buff everybody up? It looks like the Orc Boar boys have charged on in, but that's fine. You guys, maybe drop a bomb or two on somebody, just because we can. Like so, and like so, and like so. There we go. Alright, the enemy range units don't really matter because they're not really a threat to us. And, okay, you guys can back off, you guys can move forward, and you guys can move forward. Back off. There we go. Man, as usual, for like the 50th time, we did much more damage to ourselves than the enemy did. Typical goblin heroes. There's such a danger to your own units, and you know what? A, that does make sense, at least for Malachi, but also it feels like... maybe he kind of warranted his position as a Slayer, because that is such a dangerous unit to your own guys, and Dwarfs generally don't like that sort of thing, and the Goblin Hewers are pretty darn, I guess, exemplars of that sort of thing. Alrighty, anyway, looks like the battle's just about done here. Everybody's still firing, guys keep moving, auto fire, you guys move up a little bit, and let's get a nice little... go out through these guys. Alrighty, and speed it up. Battle should be just about out. Just fly around, and there we go. I wonder how many kills the enemy got compared to how many kills we killed of our own units. This is a settlement battle, so we don't have to chase. Alright, 24 losses, 1 kill from the enemy, 23 from one of our own Goblin Hewers, of course. Of course. And I guess the 1 kill from the enemy was most likely from one of the Goblin Heroes that we moved in to cover the retreat of the Slayer Pirates. Though, admittedly, that is kind of a counterintuitive. Because the Slayer Pirates can fight in melee just as well as these guys can, but whatever. It was kind of, or at least in part, a method to just sort of get in the way of the enemy and to stop the Goblin Hewer firing away and hewing more dwarfs than goblins. And that's a grudgeon or a slayer or oath taken if I've ever heard one. And occupy. Alright, another Dwarf Bride, though we're past the point of needing them. Sonori is good. And how's Azag looking? We got 2 more territories here. We'll probably also want to grab Zhedevka. And ooh, we got like 3 stacks here. Ooh, yes, finally, a proper fight for Malachi with his 2 new acquisitions, or 2 newly constructed gunships. Please take Beloved. What are you doing? Why is Boris Ursus occupying like all of Norsca, fighting on like 3 different fronts against 3 different enemies, and you're just sitting here? Are you in a deadlock? Are you in a war with somebody here? They're not in a deadlock, unless they're thinking that they are in a deadlock against the Red Eye? Huh. Well, we should be able to wipe out the Red Eye in a couple of auto-resolves, and maybe then we'll see what the heck is going on over there, because the game is being weird, or at the very least that faction is being weird. Anyway, let's get Bellegarde to wipe out these dwarf rebels. This is still insanity, but anyway. Quick save. Like, how is this not auto-resolvable? Maybe the game is saying that the organ gun would kill off a few of these rangers? Maybe. Fight battle. Last time I played Bellegarde in my, well, Bellegarde campaign, I did give him a war drum, I want to say, to power up those rangers. They do have stock and snipe as well, so we can Vanguard deploy them pretty well. Actually, who in this army has Vanguard deployment? Okay, so the miners do, but a lot of others don't. Alright, you guys, move right here. Engineer, I would like you to buff these guys up. You guys will position yourselves right... I can probably position yourself right in front of them. I mean, the enemy will be seeing us pretty much immediately, but on the other hand, it probably won't matter much. Alright, so you guys are gonna go here. You guys are gonna go here. Alrighty, and what I would like you to do, like this, is target the enemy artillery pieces, so be close enough to fire upon them immediately. So we're going to make group 1, group 2, and group 3. And I believe that's it, unless I'm mistaken. Alrighty, oh, you know what, let's do you as group 4, and you guys group 5. Not 6. 5. Alrighty, and I think that's it. So start battle, engineers, you fire. Group 1, target this. Group 2, target this. And Belagar guys move forward. We can take a few shots of those organ guns, but otherwise should be fine. And destroy those artillery pieces quicker, if and you please. Yeah, how's gyrocopters doing? Oh, dropping some bombs. Good for them. Good for them. Alrighty, and the Rangers back out and back in. Oh, those bombs really did a number on these guys. Not that it matters, as the enemy artillery are just about done for, and the Rangers fire upon this. Belagar and co. move forward. Hey. Bleed for the clown on your own time. And you guys knock out those gyro bombers. There we go. Alright, Belagar or Bugman's Rangers go out here. You guys kill off the enemy Quarrelers. And Belagar, you go duel the enemy Lord. Might as well activate your abilities just to speed matters along a teensy bit. And okay, these gyrocopters are being annoying. Let's have everybody target them. And I do believe the battle is just about ours. Leave one Bugman's to attack you. Have everybody else go after the Thunderers. It looks like the gyrocopters are done. Now switch to the Thunderers. The enemy Lord has been killed out by Belagar. Oh wow, what the heck? Huh. I think one of our artillery pieces hit one of our ghosties, Halkenhalf here, and did a lot of damage to him. Anyway, good job to the gyro bombers, or gyrocopters, for, well, bombing us. But otherwise, clearly, even with the bombs, the 44 kills, or 27 kills that it managed to rack up, and the damage out of the artillery, that was never going to be so bad. And that damage only came about mostly because we Vanguard deployed these guys. They have stock and snipe, so we could have just held them back at our line. I just wanted to make sure that this was done a teensy bit faster, so that we could end the turn and fight with the Fire Slayers. Mostly because I've been waiting to get Karaz-a-Karak back in action for what feels like a fairly long time now. Guy earned his chance to stick around after all. Or his chance to die because he's a slayer, but anyway. We will occupy the place. Alright, and the Ranger's Quiver we don't really need or care for here. We will upgrade you immediately so that we can trade it to our allies, and just go for the military structure. Alright, good. Then, that was the only thing we had to do other than building. Fortunately, building is really quick at this point in the game, so we should be able to do it in a minute or so. Let's get to the 1 and 2. We build the same ones pretty much everywhere at this point. Trying to maximize our Oath Gold, because Oath Gold at this point has become more critical than anything else. We can ignore you, East Mad Dog Pass. We will upgrade you, and... Can't upgrade you yet, but we can upgrade you. Alright. 1, 2... Better not sue. Oath Gold. Old Silk Road. Something... Oh, yeah, no. We don't have the growth, or didn't have the growth to upgrade what we needed there. And Black Wastes, you're up next, and this is good. Good. And, okay, we're not burning down the unusual location. Let's build up the Karaz Ankor and the various infrastructure buildings here, and then pop in the armory and the engineer thing, because ever do we need more engineers. This place is good. Blasted Vale, Karaz Ankor, and is good. Blood River Valley. You are ready for another shrine as well as another deeps, yes? That's the only thing you're missing? Yes, alright, so Shrine of Stilgrugni. Always the melee defense, and then go for Great Gate. Although we might switch to the missile resistance shrine shortly, as we got a lot of these guys up and running now, and our melee defense is admittedly pretty solid at this point in time. Anyway, Silver Tarn, you are nearly rank 5, and you're just waiting to get the last of your upgrades up and running. I think everything else is already constructed. So that's 1, and that's 2, and what's the third thing that we're missing? Engineer thing, I guess? Pretty sure it's the only thing that's missing here. Fine, go for the engineer thing. Like so. And then these two will be replaced by the other things that are going in every tier 5, so no difference. Alrighty, Iron Miners Guild Hall or whatever, Trading Depot, and Mine. Dragon Crag, what are we missing here? We just gotta upgrade our deeps, like so. Black Mountain, you're up next. Upgrade stuff, go figure. You were waiting for deeps, and now you can construct them, unless I'm mistaken. You already have the Grugni Shrine coming up. Alright, good. McDelvin Galbarak, you are missing a deep, so we will wait. River, whatever. Your deeps are already completed. Lovely. Nearly done. I usually do this between the episodes for obvious reasons, but once again, I really want those Fire Slayers to fight. Frankly, I probably normally would have ended this episode at this point, but yeah, no. When the Fire Slayers call, etc. Scrap Mine for you, and everything else here is... Huh, what are we missing? Something is still upgradable. Oh, you're upgradable. Ooh, including the Magma Caverns. Okay, so that's 9 out of 10, I think, now. I think we upgraded everything there. South Mountains of Morn, another Golgi monument. Upgrade you. We've got everything else here is fine. Upgrade the engineers and the runesmiths everywhere we can. And always. That's more Oath Gold every turn. Oath Gold still remains the most important thing. I guess the good thing about gold becoming, or maybe not the good thing, but the, I don't know, interesting thing, whatever. Oath Gold has replaced gold in terms of resources that we still need. As the others are not needed anymore. Anyway, one more Grugni Shrine. And then I guess another one of these deeps locations. And we'll need to build another one here, I guess. Yeah. Alrighty, Uzi camp, you're in the same position, and just build the deeps now. I mean, eventually we'll want to upgrade you to tier 5, but it's gonna take a long, long time for you to grow. Though admittedly, our growth is pretty darn great at this point, due to the faction-wide growth rate that we've gotten. Which is pretty much everywhere. What did I forget at Sour Crags? Oh, right, something we can't build anyway. There we go, nearly reached the end now. And build another gate, or upgrade another gate, and or a deep, so we got more mines, and we got more... Yeah, Dwarf Keep, we can repair you. How are you even damaged? What is this? Did I just leave you damaged? My bad. Alright, Vin Score, we are not really looking to keep you, you are going to be transferred to Boris, but at the same time... Or possibly somebody else. I mean, maybe we could... Well... Whoever. As long as it's not Chaos, admittedly. But Boris has been doing so well that I feel like he should be rewarded for his... he should be rewarded for his efforts. Anyway, go for the Arms Forge, it doesn't really matter. This is... Oh, also, just so that I don't forget, any territories that are going to be transferred shouldn't be generating income. And granted, it's a loss of like 10,000 gold per turn, but I want to make sure that we remember those territories that are actually being transferred. You are being kept there. You, Gilgrog's Monument, are being kept. You, Dushika, are not being kept. You're going to be transferred. We can level everything up here. It doesn't really matter. It's all free. It's just clicking at this point, and just build whatever. What did I not build in Mount Blood? Oh yeah, we're not supposed to build anything here. What about Fellwing Cave? Are we keeping this? Probably not. Probably going to transfer it. Just build whatever. Alright, and then just a couple more remaining. Little Ekrund we are keeping, and that's why it's collecting income. The rest of these probably we are not, including putrid... Well, actually, we are keeping putrid tarpets, and let's build that petroleum, whatever. You, we are keeping as well, Gristle Valley. So I guess you can start collecting income. Hey, you're still positive despite the minus 13 control per turn that we got, which is still pretty crazy. Not supposed to invest in you. Shardback, Foothills, Gragamugar Camp, we're probably going to delete you, but you're not collecting income for that particular reason. Keep building stuff here. Go for the defenses. And the reason I'm building defenses up north is because while we are going to transfer them to Boris or to the other Kislevites or whoever we end up transferring them to, we will still want to make sure that they don't lose them themselves, you know? So they have to have as much of a garrison in those particular locations as possible in order to take as much advantage of it as possible. And that's the plan. Anyway, Old Riding, you will be upgraded, and the next turn we'll be transferring some settlements, or slowly, maybe not so slowly, transferring settlements to our allies. Alright, 3 more, nearly done. Oh, this place we're actually keeping, so you can collect income and get the income that we stopped getting back. We will go for the watch room, and I guess for the tusks rather than the mine here at the World's Edge Foothills. Mootland, rather, not Moorland. You're going to Dwarf Keep. Defenses. Growth. Mine. Oh, I should have replaced you with a defensive structure, but I guess it's too late and it doesn't matter. And Waldenhof, you're also being transferred, but let's build whatever we can. Alrighty, there we go. With that, we can end the turn, and I'm just going to hope and or assume that the enemy will indeed sally out and attack us. Before we do, though, ally missions. Toxer, only option. Kolek Suneater, why not? Kairos Fate Weaver, we are looking to hunt him down, and he's still sitting in Dolganyar Forest. I didn't spend that time sitting in Dolganyar Forest myself with Kairos, but these guys are. Oh, right, we still have the Axe of Dargo. I was going to fight it this episode. Oh, you're in March stance. No, Hungrim. All right, I'll do it next. I'll do it at the start of next episode. Somebody please remind me, because I might forget again, because I had assumed that we've completed all the quests. Anyway, Fire Slayer time. Hopefully. Ah, they will indeed sally out. I am very glad to see it, because I've been interested in this army. Let's see how they do. Go immediately.
None of you steal my doom, or I'll come find you in the afterlife. You hear me?
Alright, here we go. The Fire Slayers have arrived on field at last. Totally no relation to the Age of Sigmar Fire Slayers. This just happened. Call it a happy accident. Herrick Grundadrak has returned to the fray, and we'll see how effective his army is. We've deployed the Slayer Pirates and the units of Iron Drakes and the Trollhammer Torpedoes, or rather engineers, together in a big old line, and all of these units should be pretty darn effective at mowing down Skaven on the approach. That said, there are a lot of Skaven here, and I've decided to deploy this army instead of taking advantage of the huge cliffside that we have here, as we could have holed up here or here somewhere and protected our flank. Since this is a Slayer-led army, we want to get attacked and we want to take damage. So right in the center of the battlefield, where we are likely, or at least give the enemy the opportunity to overrun us. Here we go, torpedoes and Iron Drake still firing away into the enemy blob. The enemy artillery has been firing at us this entire time as well, but it is what it is. Since we have no gyrocopters and no long-range artillery, we have no easy way of knocking the enemy artillery out. However, this is why we did move forward, and now that we are close enough, it looks like we can at least knock out the enemy Warp Lightning cannons. In the meantime, the enemy Lord, the enemy the enemy Warlord has melted under fire from the Iron Drakes, while Herrick Grundadrak himself has moved in to deal with the Hellpit Abomination, slowing it down with the Flash Bomb and a little bit of flammable. It moves to extremely low speed, and Herrick Grundadrak will face off against the monster as it burns. He's still looking pretty okay. He's got 101 melee defense, and I gotta remember to get him some more armor like I've been doing for the other Slayers. Down goes the massive Hellpit Abomination, but a second one has arrived over on our left flank, rushing the line of rushing the line of Slayers, passing right through them and getting into the Skaven's Bane flame cannon. And behind them, gotta watch out for that. And we are repositioning half our army, starting to burninate the Skaven on the right flank, while our units of Slayers, Grudge Settlers, hold them off. We activate Glorious Death, which is ironically named, as these guys now cannot die for 30 seconds, or whatever time it is, and will hold back as many of the rats as they can, while our Engineers and our Bugman's Breath of Flame units get to work on them. In the meantime, the Hellpit Abomination is down to half HP. How, you ask? Eric Grundadrak has arrived to deal his blows to this one and slay it just as he did the first. Looks like the enemy's going to get a Pestilent Breath through our line of Engineers and Iron Drakes, but their flanking units are in pretty bad shape. That said, they've reached our battle lines in other places. The Warlord has led some Rat Ogres into the fray and has distracted another unit of Flame Cannons. Our Slayer Pirates have been engaged with enemy Storm Vermin and Clan Rats all over the battlefield as well, and against the Storm Vermin are still having a fairly difficult time holding. That said, the bounce power is at about 70% now. The enemy Hellpit Abomination, the second Hellpit Abomination, is fallen, or just about to fall, as it's just regenerated twice, and down it goes. Herod Grundadrag gains himself yet another kill, and as the rats pop out, they immediately start exploding under fire from those torpedoes and Slayers. As in Slayer Pirates. Looks like the enemy center has collapsed by and large, and only the enemy backliners remain, or flanking units remain, and even they, I think, are just about to rout. The Doom Wheel, oh, this is kind of interesting. I wasn't watching it, but notice that the Doom Wheel has barely any kills and barely any damage. It did something very, very weird that I've never seen a Doom Wheel do from the AI. Certainly seen players do this, but basically what the Doom Wheel did, it came in from this side like this, and it charged the Runesmith, who is now here. So what the Doom Wheel did was it kept charging him and brought him all the way back here. Like, it did nothing to our army, it just kept the Runesmith, pushed him away where he couldn't do any rune support of the rest of our army. It was such a strange use of the Doom Wheel. I don't know whether it was an effective or an ineffective use of it, though. On the one hand, it prevented the Runesmith from supporting our army. On the other hand, it didn't... it wasn't distracting any of our units of Engineers or Iron Drakes or anything like that. On the other hand, I'm willing to bet the concentrated fire from all those Slayer Pirates would have done a mean bit of damage to it, so who knows. Anyway, with that, the Fire Slayers take their first win, obliterating these piles of Skaven, and while they took damage on some of the Slayers, thanks to that cannot die ability, it looks like the ones that got the most hurt only lost 20 of their units. Fantastic. Alrighty, there we go. It was worth waiting for, in my opinion. Solid fight. We let the enemy overrun us, and, well, despite that, they failed to, overrun us. Hera Grundadrag got 3 kills and 10,000 damage, but the legend that he is, those were big kills. 1 Plague Priest and 2 Hellpit Abominations went down to his axe. Otherwise, the rest of the army did pretty darn well. The Engineers at 700 kills nearly. Very, very nice. And obviously great work from Bugman's Breath and the Jartrom Legion and the Flames of Hurricane Skaven's Bane, all newly named this episode and immediately doing a lot of work. We'll heal everybody up in order to occupy the place next turn.
Come with me if you want to.
Alright, there we go. Hey, the escort actually occupied a settlement, and it was the one that we told them to occupy. Well done. Now, hopefully they can occupy the rest of the province without our intervention, as they seem to have started moving once more. Interestingly, they're trying to get to Zhedevka, which we'll want to probably take for ourselves. But anyway, with that, folks, we are out of time, very much so. I did say a new regional power, Sartosa? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, what we really needed is another regional power near the Skaven Empire here. Well, still, should keep it pretty fun as we have our biggest concentration of armies in one place, right in this location, surrounded as they are completely by enemies or potential enemies. So maybe that's a good thing. And well, if it isn't some vampiric rebels already, would you guys fix your public order, please? -7 now. That's certainly something to think about. We could help fix their Imperial authority by gifting them territories, but at the same time, it would be giving them a lot of additional territories with negative control, potentially, and then immediately screw them over. Might even want to wait even further for them to fix their situation a little bit before transferring. I will think about it. Either way, as I said, we're out of time, and I'm going to call this episode here. I did say that while the... another plague. Okay, I guess we're going to have to venerate the ancestors. Okay, I gotta stop doing stuff. Wounded tech thief. Oh, wow. Not that we really needed a tech thief, but it's the principle of the thing. Somebody's gonna have to pay for that one. Oldest Redbeard got a gyrocopter. Who's oldest? Oh yeah, you can have a gyrocopter, you're fine. And allied outpost lost in Zamoski, which means Zamoski, I take it, has fallen. But I guess that's hardly surprising, and I do wonder if Arkan will now move towards us. Hopefully we can intercept him with Thorek before he gets to Gregumgar camp. Still, that'll be a pretty epic confrontation, especially with the blue scribes there. He's the big caster, too. Nice. Huh. One tech thief wounded, one tech thief came back. Everybody's ready for duty. We got the Slayer Oath up next as well, and there we are. Anyway, as I was trying to say before I interrupted myself 64,000 times, calling the episode here. It's a longer episode, but, well, we did skip a day, and that's kind of the way that I've decided to do things. It's still sort of like 40 minutes shorter episodes, but those shorter episodes can be combined into one longer episode every other day or anything like that, depending, or sometimes I'll just do a shorter episode that day. I still haven't decided what sort of methodology I prefer. Anyway, more Dowie to come. Stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they'll determine how long we keep this epic campaign running for. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.